questions that you all might have. We're excited about the new year starting. Certainly we've been practicing with our fall sports already, but with classes beginning tomorrow and the campus alive and well, it's an exciting time. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I imagine you want to talk a little bit about the update that we gave today about Vandy United. So if there are any questions, happy to take them.
Yeah, what has the reaction been like from donors over the last few weeks, few months? As you guys have maybe pared down the plans, gotten a little more specific.
It's been fantastic. So let me talk just a minute about kind of what our thought process has been, because I think it might help understand how we will move forward. So in March, we came out publicly in March and actually formally launched the Vandy United campaign. And I don't want anybody to think that was when the work began, right? The work actually began well in advance, but we thought it was important that we're not going to wait until we have every single T crossed and I dotted to share information, because it was important for people to come along this journey with us. So in March, and I hope that this is a theme as we move forward, we're going to share what we're firm about. And then as things further develop, we'll provide more. I think that's really important, and that we're consistent with that. So in March, we wanted to first show the tremendous commitment by the university. We wanted to announce a big lead gift. There are a number of other donors who have been just extremely supportive, and there are a lot of other gifts in the works, and we'll announce them as they come to fruition. But in March, we talked about clearly what was the investment into football, into basketball, and into the Reading Center. Weren't sure yet about locations. Weren't sure yet about all the details in each project. So today's press release was meant to provide some additional color. And again, as things develop, so we knew in March that we wanted to do, for example, a baseball project. We knew, for example, in March that we needed to invest in the tennis facility. But those plans were not as further along, which is why they get mentioned today. We did know in March that we were going to be pretty aggressive with our timeline. You all probably remember that we started this process with Perkins and Will, who were great partners. They got us to a certain point, and then Populous picked up where they left off. We also gave ourselves the room to make changes. So remember, we're in a pretty tight footprint, and it is incumbent on us to make sure that we're maximizing every piece of the space. So anytime we can give ourselves the room to be innovative, we're going to do that. That's a part of the way we're going to approach our work. The other thing we said in March is that we would begin construction following the football season. All of that remains true. What you see today is what I hope feels like a significant investment into our fans. We're going to always invest in our student athletes, because the infrastructure is needed across the board there to put them in position to win and to do it consistently. What we said in March, and it's being detailed further now, that we need our fans to feel that the experience is elevated and that we are also pouring into them. You'll find that when you look at the aerial map and you see that there's a building in the north end zone and a building in the south end zone, that too represents a significant investment into the facility. And that's important to us. But it starts with making sure the student athletes have what they need. So I do want to echo that message from March. Donors have been fantastic. I will tell you, because one question is, well, where are the renderings, right? Where are the designs? So we knew in March that it was probably going to be about an 8-month process to really get the designs refined where we wanted them to be, so that you can start construction when the season ends. What I don't want to do is we put out something that is incomplete. We're going to stand by everything that we put out. And we've gone through many iterations. I will tell you that Populous is supremely talented, and what I've seen is just tremendous. But there are a lot of things that are in flux. The commitment is not in flux. The fact that we're going to complete everything we talk about is not in flux. But I don't want to show you something where the roof's going to look a little different, or this door is going to be over here, because what we put out, we need to be committed to. So let's get a little more confidence in what the final designs will look like, and then over time we will share them as they are confirmed. So just look for a continuous drumbeat. That's important to us.
Do you have a timeline yet of when
So good question. No, because what we're talking about right now is where things are in the design phase. Construction will be dictated by a lot of other factors, like what's the most feasible. There are a lot of things that are not as interesting, like what you do about your utilities and that kind of thing. That when you're like us and you have a lot of ground to make up, there are other things that we have to do that then allow us to build the projects that need to be built. That's going to help determine the cadence. So I don't know that for sure. I will tell you that everything that we've talked about, we're committed to doing as soon as possible. It's very aggressive. It's very aspirational. But I hope that that's what Vanderbilt athletics is going to be.
Yeah, it's, so especially the stuff in the stadium on the north and south end zone. You talk to the builders. I don't know if it's like, is it possible to have that stuff done in time for 2022 football season? Is that the plan? I don't know what's the general thought.
Yeah, I can't tell you yet what the completion will be. I think it's expected that we will break ground on at least one, if not both of those. The expectation is that we will break ground after this season. I'm not going to speculate yet on how long it will take. It just depends. We spent 2 days in Kansas City with Populous talking about this. I don't know that it can be done, Robbie, before next football season in terms of being completed. We had a head coaches meeting yesterday and we talked about we're going to be building constantly for the next for an extended period of time. And again, we have some ground to make up, but we want to be methodical about how we do it because we have a chance to differentiate ourselves and make this distinctly Vanderbilt. And that's really important to us.
Forgive me if this has been answered. I know you'd said of the $300 million, I think $200 was already in place in March. Where are you at with the last third there?
I'm not ready to share an exact number. It's going very, very well. And I've said this before, I'm not trying to sound like a broken record, but we're really strategic about how we announce things. When you have people who are supporting you with transformational gifts, you want to be very thoughtful about how you announce it and making sure that they're comfortable as well. So what I am comfortable saying is that the support has been incredible.
For the McGugin expansion, is the plan for it to go upward, like build extra stories on top, or outward, I guess, or both?
Again, we're landlocked, right? But when you think about maximizing the footprint, the expectation is that we will have to go up. So we have 2 floors right now. I think it's safe to say that we will have at least one more additional floor.
Like this facility, and then the practice court and memorial that already exists, and the locker room that already exists. Do you know or have any idea of what the plans would be for those spaces once you get kind of the new ones?
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the appropriate time, but that's certainly part of the strategy.
Anything else for Candice? Thanks, John.
Can I just say one other thing?
Sure,
The other thing I would say is that this is important to me that people understand that we've got the big projects, right, that we're calling Vandy United. And that's what the aerial map is, and that's what the press release is about. But we're also consistently improving things. You might not think about it as Vandy United, but a good example is, it was a goal of ours to open up a new refueling and nutrition space for our student athletes. And when they left at the end of the spring semester and came back basically yesterday, that they would see a dramatic difference. And that refueling station is open, and that's been incredible for us. I want our fans to walk into the football stadium on September 4th, and they will see some investments that we've made. The same will be true when our fans walk into Memorial for the first time. We know about our football locker room project, which has been phenomenal for these young men. We have a basketball locker room project that is underway. And everything's not big news. It's just doing the work to make sure that we're providing the best opportunity for our student athletes. So all of the work that we're doing and all of the contributions are not Vandy United level, but they're extremely important and part of the ground that we're making up.
Is the refueling station in McGugin?
It is. Yeah, it's a great space. Really excited about it.
Thank you, Candice.
Thank you all very much.